Hey Golf Country fans, here's a quick video to update you on the partial restoration that I've been doing. But first, we need to review how we got here. Until last summer, the car sat unused for more than a year in our garage. When I finally got around to driving it, the brake pedal had no pressure. In order to troubleshoot the problem, I grabbed a floor jack. After a couple of pumps on the jack handle, I heard a loud crack. It turned out that the left front control arm was rusted out to the point of failure. It cracked and bent upward into the CV axle shaft. The right side control arm wasn't far behind. They both clearly needed replacing. Not too surprisingly, the metal brake lines were rusted through and all the fluid had drained out. The engine subframe was also compromised by rust. In fact, everything under the car turned out to be rusty enough to require replacement or rehab, so I removed the brakes, suspension, frame, and drivetrain. I brought the engine, transmission, and final drive to my friend's speed shop in Minneapolis to be rebuilt. Meanwhile, my parts list was growing so fast that I needed a spreadsheet to keep track of it all. While waiting for parts to arrive from Europe, I've been using the time to clean and prepare the engine compartment for the rebuilt drivetrain. It pretty much looks like this now, although I'm still working on it. I removed the fuel tank, fuel pump, and other parts from the underside of the car so that I could clean and assess the condition of the floor pan. I first used a wire brush to remove loose dirt and rust. I would have preferred to do this on a rotisserie, but A, I don't own one, and B, I hadn't planned on doing a body off restoration. Remember, this all started out as a rusty brake line repair. I then scraped off any loose undercoating that was hiding rust. Volkswagen used white rubberized undercoating at the factory. It's still very soft and pliable after 30 years. Most of the rust developed wherever there was hardware attached to the body. As a temporary solution, I plan to treat these areas with a rust converter and reassemble the car. In a couple of years, I'll do a full body off restoration, at which time I can strip the unibody down to its shell and media blast away every speck of rust before body work and paint. My neighbor has a diesel-powered sandblaster, so I paid him to strip and epoxy primer the frame and other components. Then I sprayed the parts with Chassis Saver 2K paint, which coated really well and flowed nicely without running. Chassis Saver paint gradually turns gray when exposed to UV light, so I covered it with an inexpensive top coat. I'm pretty pleased with the results. The engine, transmission, and final drive aren't back from the rebuilder yet, but I still have things to do. Most of the parts I ordered have arrived, and I'm about halfway done refurbishing all the old reusable parts. So my remaining steps include finish cleaning and painting all the reusable parts, spot treat the rust, install copper brake lines, clean and test all fuel and vacuum lines, and reassemble everything. And I'll be sure to post videos of all these tasks as they happen, so please check back later for those. Thanks for watching.